What's going on, my man?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. I cannot complain. I'm out here in Omaha, Nebraska. It's like 95 degrees right now. So outside of the heat, I'm okay.
Oh,
What
nice. Yeah,
what about you?
I'm outside of DC. I'm in Northern Virginia.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
so no, we're not near 95. We're probably 85.
Okay. A little bit more manageable, right?
Yeah, I can handle
Cool,
that.
man. So today's call is all about you, brother. I just really want to find out really where we're at toward our online fitness business. I know you said you want to get one started, but it looks like we haven't yet. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Cool.
I gosh, like 15 years ago, I used to do in-personal training.
Oh,
I
okay.
did, my degree is exercise science. I did that for like 10 years, and then for the last 15 years or so, I've been in real estate. So, um, I've just kind of lost the love of real estate a little bit. I have two businesses in real estate that still run. It's basically part-time work for me, so I'm kind of freed up to do other things. So um, I've always kind of stayed in contact with this field, and I've always been learning and researching and listening to podcasts and nutrition and all that sort of thing. So I've always been interested and thought um, online training seemed much more manageable than doing in-person training. I'm not so sure I want to jump back into doing that, but doing it like online, and then my girlfriend is my partner in this. You know um, she's a nurse practitioner. She just got her PhD. She's got a lot of experience with being a dietitian, and so I think between the two, we wanted to take more of an approach to, I guess the way I would describe it is the difference between when people leave the doctor with orders of what to do and then being able to get it implemented. I think there's kind of a big gap there. And I think with my experience and hers, I think that's something that we'd like to try to take a stab at, through diet, exercise, and helping managing some of their medications. So that's our plan. I mean, this is my first, I've done some research. I've looked at some different, apps for sending workouts, and but this is my first call. This is my first actually one-on-one talking to somebody about it, and so that's where we are, really right at the beginning, trying to see what makes the most sense. I think from the research I've done, a lot of what I've done in real estate has been covered in some of these topics in terms of how to set up the sales call, how to work the sales call, how to I didn't look like you guys weren't advocating for a whole lot of online lead gen, at least at the beginning, but I'm very familiar with how to do that on the real estate side. I'm guessing a lot of the principles would transfer over, but maybe a little different content in terms of finding the customer. So that's probably my biggest concern, but that's the first thing we obviously want to solve is where do we find our customer? I know where we could find them locally, but I don't know where, we want to certainly grow this to be much larger than what we could do it just on a local level. So that's where I am.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. Like the online fitness platform versus real estate is vastly different. Same thing with in-person training. It's easy to get people, in person. It's vastly different when creating marketing and lead generation on the online platform. So I'm actually going to walk you through that step by step today so you can see those differences. You mentioned earlier you kind of lost the love of real estate, but you've always kind of maintained your passion with health and fitness. I love that you're doing this thing with your girlfriend, because me and my wife do something kind of similar. She's a nurse as well, but she's a life coach. So they get this ugly mug to yell at them and put programming on to get for them. They get the beauty side of things to talk about empathy and where they struggle with life and things of that nature. So it's a really good dynamic, because the women will open up to my wife more than they will me, because there's just certain things that I'm not ever going to be able to understand about a woman because of my genetics, right? My DNA. And on the flip side, the guys like to meet with her as well, because there's certain things that guys won't divulge to other men because of their pride or egos. So I get a lot of information. We're able to get people a lot more transformations, if you will, not just physical, but a lot more mental mindset, and then like balancing relationships as well. So I love that you guys got that dynamic going on. Would you guys be keeping that real estate? Will that just continue to be like the part-time thing, and this would be just another main source of income, or what does that look like for you guys?
Yeah, I do two things really in real estate where I can basically do it from home. So I don't have to go out and show houses anymore, do that sort of thing. I have a referral company where we work with basically getting senior citizens out of their properties into long-term assisted living facilities, all sorts of different options on that. But we basically we sell the houses that they're moving out of. So that's my full-time job. That's really part-time hours. And then I do real estate coaching as well on the side. So I'm used to coaching people, and but I don't have a ton of clients on my real estate coaching. I don't enjoy it as much as I have, anything that was fitness or health related. It's I don't know. I think over time I just kind of gravitated back to what I've always found interesting. There's a huge need in the real estate. So it wasn't that there was never a need. It was just I was losing passion for people who were, I couldn't get them off their ass to do what they wanted to do. So that was, and you can make enough money in real estate where I didn't really have to do the coaching if I didn't want to. And but this one, when I was doing some of the research, some of the numbers they talk about seemed like on the low side. I'm probably valuing some of it based on what you can make in real estate, but they're like, well, we can get you 10,000 a month. I'm like, 10,000. We live outside of DC. It's super expensive here anyway. So I'm like, I gotta get over 20, 30,000. So, I had some questions about how we would do that. So yeah, I think it can all be done. I just wanted to engage and see. I've hired coaches before for my other business. So I've paid, I've paid to have a marketing coach. I see a lot of what you guys do in terms of how you do your marketing, and it's very familiar. The questions you ask, I know on some of them I didn't answer them all the way because I know what the objective was, but so I understand the process fairly well. I certainly need to be taught in the fitness business, but I see how it kind of fits together. Done a lot of stuff with creating seminars, online webinars, that sort of thing. So I kind of understand that. But taking a step back, what I really am not 100% sure is I can do the whole design the workout, but how you do it online and some of the software things and how you integrate the nutrition and the other aspects of health into it, that's some of the stuff I'm a little unclear on. I'm sure I could spend 2 days and learn the software and figure it all out, but that's kind of a blind spot for me right now. And then also how to market what's allowable. We can't, if we're talking to people in other states or whatever across the country, we can't, she can't be acting as a physician or a nurse practitioner, or because she wouldn't be their doctor. She would just be, I don't know how that's couched as an advisor. Is it you're consulting with them, or I know you can call people and they'll review you like your labs and things like that. So learning how we would, I guess, really advertise that. How do you couch that as what we're actually doing? Is it still fall under wellness coaching, or so? Right. Some questions like that.
Yep. So the first question you mentioned, like the averages as far as this is for just building out your foundations. Like we're making sure we're plugging up any holes. We're making sure we have our marketing on point, our lead generation on point, how to outreach organically, utilizing multiple different tactics. So we're implementing a lot of AI, a lot of chat GPT. We're doing a lot of the newer things. So once we have that foundation done, once you're averaging 10K a month on a regular basis, I'd say within, like, if you're averaging 10K on about 2 to 3 months consistently, then we would be eligible for ascending to mastery level. And essentially mastery level is that next tier. So even the certifications is a much higher tier as well. We're talking about gut health. We're talking about supplementation, Dutch testing, the whole nine, like those major things. We're talking about how to lead leaders, and then bringing on maybe a DMer or possibly bring on an assistant coach where you can kind of step away from the day-to-day monotonous activities and kind of focus on more on expanding and becoming more of that CEO versus the coach, if that makes sense. So our focal point mastery level is to get you from 10K to 100K per month. Okay. So the first portion is just to really make sure we have everything dialed down very specifically. Because again, even though it's real estate, this is fitness, kind of drastically different in which we run things in that regard. So I'll walk you through that step by step. As far as what your girlfriend's talking about with the nutrition aspect of it, she would still just be like a health coach. She could call it a health. Correct? She's not a registered dietitian, correct?
She had a registered diet. She had her RD, but I think she let it expire. But we have somebody else who's an RD we can put on our team.
So if you have a registered dietitian, then they can create customized plans that are very specific based upon that individual's health concerns or wellness concerns or whatever the case may be. Outside of that, for people that aren't registered dietitians, we're just talking about general guidelines. So, macro-based, intuitive eating, building a healthy plate off of like whether you're trying to lose weight, gain muscle, whatever the case may be. But only a registered dietitian can actually give you like, you need to have X amount of this and X amount of that, right? If you have that, you're solid, you're good to go. Outside of that, we're just doing like recommendations. As far as the programming aspects go, I think that's great because you do have some experience, but kind of a nice feature. We actually have done for you programs already done. They're all based off of progressive overload. So you can go in there, tweak them. They give you different drop-down menus to change out the variation pending whatever client you have, but that saves you hours and hours of time just to be able to already have that completed for you. And you're just kind of changing those things out. We also offer an optional certification, no additional charge. It's kind of like more like a foundation, like a basic review for a guy like you. Against equal parts fitness, equal parts nutrition. But these certifications are backed. Our program is backed by ACE, NASM, and ISSA, which is the 3 largest certification companies in the world. So we do have some clout. We're also partnered with TrueCoach, which I think that's where you found us from. So we're partnered with some of the bigger players in the fitness field as well. As far as our goal range, ideally, where would you like to start off making on your online business to feel comfortable?
I mean, I think at a minimum, if I wasn't making 15 grand a month, I would be feeling like I'm really underachieving. I haven't been in the space for so long, but I know there seems like there's so much opportunity. There's so many people who are just falling apart that it seems like it could be I mean, I would be probably shooting closer to making over 50 grand a month because 2 people, if we'd both be doing it part-time, but I would be a little more closer to full-time than she would probably be more part-time right now because she's still working as a nurse practitioner. But I mean, that for me would be closer 30, 40, 50 grand a month, I think but I don't know. I always have to measure the effort against what the money is. If 50 grand is a huge headache and 25 is easy living, then maybe 25 works. So that's my unofficial way, I guess, of evaluating it.
Yeah, 100%. So I've seen individuals that get significantly over 10K in a matter of a couple months. It's going to really be person dependent upon how much they're prioritizing, how much work they're putting out. I always tell like the basic individual, if you can dictate 10 to 20 hours per week, you're in a good spot. Anything over 20 hours a week, you're in a dangerously great spot, right? So if you're someone that has ample time that you can really go full force in, you've got a lot of skin in the game, as you mentioned, 15 years, plus some certifications, your girlfriend's like well-versed as well. You guys are going to have a competitive advantage because you guys already have this basic knowledge where a lot of individuals that come to us have zero, right? They just know that they have a passion for health and fitness, and they're just trying to figure out, how can I expand this? How can I monetize on it? And how can I help other individuals? Whereas you've actually had a business before. So you're going to have a little bit of an advantage, right? Things are going to be a little bit more efficient for you. They'll be streamlined. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you mentioned the biggest challenges right now is really marketing, lead generation on an organic side of things, and how to find consistent clientele. Looks like what we've tried so far is these are our first steps as far as the online coaching space. Done a lot of research. You've hired different coaches before from your past businesses, so you have an idea of how it can be beneficial. But it looks like you're looking for specific processes and strategies that implement very structured game plan and routine. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a lot of lead gen, I think I already know how to do because I know all the concepts are going to be similar. They're just going to be flipped over to real wellness. But some of them I just wanted to be cost effective. Like when I was doing webinars and picking up clients that way, it's effective, but it's expensive. So if my acquisition cost on a customer is $200, then I'm like, well, is that worth it? I'm just making that number up. But if it, whatever it's going to be, is it going to be worth, signing somebody up? So making sure the math kind of works. I don't know if you guys have done any of that where you're, you push them through the funnel on the, they sign up, they watch the webinar, and then they fill out the application, because I see you guys doing it. And then you have the videos that kind of hold them, keep them engaged until they get to the call, and it's the lead up to the call, and then you close them on the call. So doing the same thing in terms on the wellness side, I don't know if anybody's doing that. And I know people do it for coaching, but
Yeah.
as far as finding clients that way, is it cost effective to run a webinar, basically do your sales pitch, push them to a call, and then close them?
Yeah, we usually teach about 1 or 2 call closes. So we kind of make sure we're getting a buffer, feeling them out, kind of see where they're at with their health and fitness. If there's someone that we feel like we can really help. So for instance, if you're the coach and you can feel like you can really solve my problem, then we book a second call, right? But in the meantime, usually we advise them to give them some homework. Like you said, keep them engaged and make sure that they're actually going to follow through. It's kind of like a good system to figure out, is this person really going to be committed? Outside of that, let's see here. I'm looking over my notes really quick as well. Oh, another thing that you could do that costs zero money, and it's could be a game changer, especially for your girlfriend who's a nurse practitioner. If you just do free seminars, like a 15-20 minute talk. My wife's in healthcare, and so they're some of the most unhealthiest people is healthcare professionals. So I'll go do like a free talk, and I'll meet the CEOs 20 minutes before. I'm getting 15 referrals just by my local community. So I'm maximizing what I have available. So anything that I pull off from online is just, to me, icing on the cake, because I'm really well known in my local community. Another example, I'm partnered with the local supplement company out here. I have all my clients on specific supplementation based upon their unique goals, but I had them order from that company. That company in return gives me discounts, and they give me about 30 referrals a month because I'm supporting their business. So anyone that goes into a health and fitness supplement store obviously has some health and fitness goals. So they're like, hey, if you're looking to maximize your goals, hit up my guy, Jeremy. And most of the people that already go in there already know who I am. So that's an easy selling clip for me, and that's all locally based. So I'm always thinking outside the box. So think when you're talking about lead generation, everyone's thinking about only DMing. You want to really maximize what you have at your disposal. Like for you, you have a ton of people in your pipeline that are like, your niche could be working with real estate professionals, because you know the time it takes, the ones that maybe aren't as seasoned as you, that aren't working remote, how much time that takes, how to create a balance, how to create healthy habits. And then on the opposite side, your girlfriend is really targeting the healthcare system, because nurses, CNAs, LPNs, they work these crazy ass hours. They don't necessarily eat the healthiest. And then their sleep is off because they're working like, 312s or whatever the case may be. So she could be talking about how to like reduce cortisol levels, things like that. And now you have a very specific niche, and you have a very specific niche with the type of individuals that can pay that money that you're worth. So if you're going to do extra webinars or extra group trainings, that could be a part of your overall offer, which is going to expand that ticket offer. Because right now, industry average is anywhere between $250 on the low end to $500 per month on the upper end, on the average side of things. Now, depending on what you're offering, again, that can always be elevated, right? So instead of maybe just Zoom recordings, you're doing Loom check-ins. So maybe I send you a recording of my form, you send me a Loom recording back, basically in video format, telling you what you really liked about what I was doing, what I don't, what I need to change, things of that nature. It makes it more personalized, especially if you guys are going to have a registered dietitian. That's going to be a great feature to have as well, because someone's going to get step by step exactly what they need to eat to get to that next level, reduce inflammation, whatever it is their goals are, right? Especially if your girlfriend or that person that you're bringing on can also go into like lab testing. Good God, that's a lot of money that we could really implement there, because no one's offering that, right? And you could be doing it. Maybe you could partner with that lab company. Hey, if I bring you X amount of clients per month, whatever your guys' deal that you work out, but that could be a great partnership as well.
I see. Yeah, that's one thing where it was kind of getting a little gray for me, where I was like, I don't know, when at that point are we practicing medicine? I'm just like, if we're just reviewing labs, that's fine. If we're not ordering, we're not prescribing anything, I guess we're fine. But I don't know. This is where I'm just kind of in theory thinking about how this would work, because I mean, just in my mind, as I've been going through some trainings, and I've been, they're trying to really drill down on who exactly is your customer, like who you're trying to get to, be very clear about them. And I feel like our customer is like 30 to 50, had kids, let themselves go, worn out, trashed, need to kind of get back going again. But I think even in my own personal health, I turned 50 this last year, and I was like, okay, I started going in and getting some of my own labs and realizing, hey, my testosterone is like way low. My thyroid is way low. And doing that sort of thing, I feel like was as big a solution as was ironing out somebody's eating habits or getting them, physically fit or physically active. So I just don't know how much of that we can do without crossing a line of practicing medicine, or I guess at that point we're kind of consulting with them and their doctor during making sure
Correct.
that loop is closed and everybody's on the right page. But so that's one of the things I've been kind of thinking about.
Yeah, if you guys are partnering with their doctor and you're able to like do consultations together, that's a game changer, because you're right, finding the root cause first, because if they feel like shit, they're not going to want to work out, right? So if we can get them feeling good and just changing small habits, eventually they're going to be like, man, I feel good. What's the next step? Oh, okay, there's this thing called nutrition. If I just change a couple things here, I'm gonna feel a whole hell of a lot better, right? If you look good, you feel good, you perform better. Now all of a sudden you're a better husband, a better father, a better lover, better financially, better spiritually. It all covers all those facets of life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool, man. Let me share my screen with you. I'm going to show you like what we have on a high level, and then we'll kind of deep dive into the actual modules, and I'll show you kind of our processes. Cool.
Okay, sure.
All right, my man. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Yep, I got you.
All right. So as you know, we're the Next Level Coaching Academy. We're actually accredited through the Better Business Bureau. So we got a rating of an 8 of a possible A+. We're also backed by 3 of those largest service providers, ACE, NASM, and ISSA. Now on that success ladder we were talking about, we have that 10K accelerator, we got mastery level. Focal point here is just to get us to 10K, could be making more, right? The span is to get it within 4 months. I've seen people do it beforehand. Once we're past that 10K threshold on a consistent basis, that's when we're able to ascend to mastery level. And that's when we're really trying to start becoming more of that CEO versus coach. And that's where we can really expand and like create that empire you might be looking for. The accelerator program is really broken up into 4 phases. The first thing we want to do is get you some consistent clients right out the gate that are paying. Then we'll establish a solid business foundation. We'll help you generate leads organically so we can expand our reach. And we'll develop sales and client retention strategies to help you reach, sustain, and surpass 10K per month. On the support side of things, you'll have an assigned one-on-one coach. This individual is with you the entire enrollment period. They're an individual that's completed both 10K and mastery level, so they have a very high 6 or 7 figure business of their own. They're battle tested. They know exactly what it takes to get you to where you want to be. You'll have a customized game planning call with that individual to review where you want to be at, the most efficient way to get there. Every 2 weeks, you'll have one-on-one coaching calls to revisit the game plan, make changes, receive feedback, give very specific instructions. Once you complete the sales modules and you're averaging about 2 to 3 Zoom calls per week, you'll be introduced to your own sales coach. This will be an individual that help you maximize return of investment, how to close down those sales calls at a 40% clip or greater. We also have biweekly roster group coaching calls as well. 5 times we have group support calls that accommodate your current job schedule. So this would go over client delivery, objection handling, marketing, lead generation, mindset, even case studies. You'll have 24/5 tech support with your coach as well. So you can ask them as many questions as you like. They're contractually obligated to answer all of them. Becoming an entrepreneur, as you know, is fun, it's exciting, but it gets overwhelming as hell sometimes. So we've created what we call the Zenpreneur method. We help with weekly mindset calls, breath work, meditation sessions, things of that nature, just to ensure you're always in a good headspace to move forward with your business. As far as the community goes, you're going to have a private Facebook group. You'll have the 24/5 tech support. You'll have the group support calls, and you'll also be eligible for the NLCA Live Conference. As far as resources, you'll have the course curriculum. You'll have that Zenpreneur method we just got done discussing. And as mentioned earlier, we're going to give you done-for-you programming done by Evolve Health and Performance. Saves you hours and hours of time, so you can focus on actually expanding your business. We'll also give you agency outsourcing options when you're ready to make specific changes or enhancements to your program. And then we also offer an optional certification at no additional charges, equal parts fitness, equal parts nutrition. As far as the phases to get you to 10K, initially there's 4 phases. Phase 1, at first, what's that mean? We're going to launch our business. We're going to utilize very specific strategies that we implement to get your first couple clients. Then we'll set up all your back-end systems. We'll make sure you're a legal company. And then based upon what problem you solve, we'll create your offer and pricing. This will take usually about a month to month and a half. Someone like you could even be less. Phase 3 and phase 4 is where we're going to spend the majority of our time. Organic marketing strategies will teach you how to expand your reach utilizing the newest software. We'll also teach you how to generate leads with our community lead generation method. We use WhatsApp group, and we'll teach you basic funnel creations to close down deals more efficiently. Phase 4 is like the fine tuning. We're going to maximize your sales capabilities, really have consistent delivery systems, but emphasize customer support and client retention. We want to keep people happy for longer periods of time, advance them to higher levels of our programming. Any questions on that?
No, I don't think so.
Cool. This is the actual program, 32 modules. Each module will have an overview link. It'll also be associated with videos. Both the link and the videos are tutorial style, so you'll always know what to do every step of the way. First step to becoming a full-time online coach, we're going to implement those strategies. As we mentioned, a lot of the resources we give you are already done for you. The Accelerator directory, I want you to view this as onboarding material that will help you become a better student, really shows you how to maximize the program to its fullest capabilities. The roadmap is a two-part phase. We're going to show you what you need to get from 0 to 5K, and then what you need to get from 5 to 10, step-by-step approach with videos as well. And then based upon your goal, if we're trying to hit 100K a month, we want to make sure we have daily habits and routines, mindset issues, imposter syndrome, fear of failure, anxiety. Those are all natural, normal feelings. How can we move past that to move forward with our business? We've also identified the top. Yeah.
Jeremy, can I ask you a question real quick?
Yes, sir.
When you're building the business, what percent for most people is strictly prescribing exercise or doing diet versus, like you had mentioned, supplementation and some other things that you're doing in your business? So if you're doing 100K a month, what is it? Is it 80% membership for diet and exercise, or how? Because you seem like you kind of maybe get to a point where it's like, I guess if you're not hiring any staff, that you're kind of tapped out on how many people you can service. So
yes,
is that the key?
Give you industry averages. Like if you're we know you're not going to be a one-man show. It's going to be you and your girl. But if you're a one-man show, you could expect to handle anywhere between 30 to 60 clients on your own based upon your organizational skills. Anything over that is going to get a little bit overwhelming. So if it's you and your girlfriend, you could probably average, I'd say if two of you are running, if you guys are having your own type of clients, or I don't know how that's going to work, but if both of you are running it, you could probably double that, maybe like 80 or so. But at that point in time, when you're hitting, I'd say when you're running about 8 to 10K a month, that's when we're going to start talking about running ads, because now you have a return of investment that we can actually use that to run ads. From there, once we're running ads, we can also start, when you're hitting about 6 to 8K, you can think about bringing on a DMer. That's going to be someone's going to be doing all of your DME outreaching for you. So that would be one less thing that you have to do that's like a day-to-day monotonous activity. And then when you're hitting about 12 to 15K a month, we want to start bringing on maybe an assistant coach. So that way we can start distributing out all of your clients. You can keep on maximizing that. So those are kind of going to be the metrics.
Okay.
People that stay with us for over 12 months are averaging 97 clients on their roster. So those individuals that have 97 clients are averaging about 366,000 per year, depending what they're charging, right? So it can happen relatively fast, but in order for you to get to that 50K, 100K, we're going to be needing to bring on some individuals. We got one girl who's an IFBB pro. Her husband's like a sales guru. They kind of work together. She has a 7-figure business. She has a group of like 12 people on her team right now.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, to answer your question, we're gonna need some team. We're gonna need some team members to delegate day-to-day issues and start passing off those day-to-day responsibilities to somebody else.
Okay, but in terms of generating revenue, I mean, is there money in, like you're talking about supplementation? Is there white labeling other people's stuff, or are you just sending them and you're getting a rebate from the supplier, or how does that work?
You can do both ways. So we'll actually tell you, Master Coach, how to start building a brand, how to start maybe doing apparel, maybe how to start doing like like I said, supplementation. We've seen individuals that partnered up with like a supplementation company and they have like their own little brand. So they go into all that in actual mastery level as well. So mastery level is like turning your product like a solid product. And then in one mastery level, we make it a 10 out of 10 product. And we make sure there's no gaps or leaks in your systems, because if there's leaks, that's going to lead to a major foundational crack, right?
Yep.
So we're just sewing up all those loose ends, and then we're teaching you how to like become a master at leading other individuals. So that way we talk about ascending your product, having different levels of those top tiers. Again, even the certifications are 5 times more advanced as well. So when you become mastery level, you have up to 10 assistant coaches that you can have utilize that certification, which is a huge value, especially where you and your girlfriend are taking this, like with possible labs and things of that nature. That'll be a massive game changer. Like that alone, not too many people are doing at all.
Yeah, we want to get into something that's not crowded, that we can really be specialized in and be, I don't want to be duking it out with everybody for their writing their training program. And then the price just goes to the floor because everybody's discounting the hell out of it. So we want to be something more, it's a little more higher end. And it's an expensive place to live out in like Northern Virginia, just with all the government and all the big businesses. So I feel like we could support, at least locally, that we could support a higher price. I just don't I have no idea what it is. I mean, I know it was 3 to 500. People were saying was kind of the range, but I guess
And it's
we'll
going to
see.
be higher based upon what you're offering too. And then, like you said, the individuals that are constantly decreasing their price to stay in the game, those are the ones that actually don't have sustainable businesses. So I
Right.
get on calls with other coaches and they have 3, 6, 9, 12 month-to-month packages. I don't do any of that. I give them 3 options. It's 4, 8, and 12. That's my personal opinion. That's what I do. And I don't veer on my price, because if you go based upon price, you're going to miss out on quality. If you want quality, you're going to pay a higher premium. That's just how things work. So if someone gets on a call with me and they say, hey, I love your program, but this guy around the corner is doing it for 3 times cheaper, great, go with him. But this is why we're on the phone call today, right? You tried that route and it didn't get you anywhere. So do you want to be able to possibly get on with the coaching company that this would be your last time having to hire out someone, right? If I can solve all those problems, would it be worth it? And usually the answer is yes, right? If they can't afford it, I'll try to work with them to figure out a financial way to maybe where they can get like a financing option or something like that. But I'm not bending my prices. Think of McDonald's and Chick-fil-A. McDonald's has a million different options. It confuses the hell out of people, and they sit there forever trying to figure out what they want on the dollar menu. Chick-fil-A has 3 options. They're really good at those 3 things, and they're killing McDonald's in revenue every year. Why? Because they keep it simple. They stick to what they know, and they don't change things out based upon what the competition's doing. They know they have something phenomenal that people want. So every time you drive by a Chick-fil-A, there's a ridiculous ass line because people want those 3 things they're serving, right?
Yep.
So think of your business like that. Same thing, Lamborghini, they don't even have commercials. People that want a Lamborghini know where to go. They don't need to advertise for it. So when you're talking about that higher end, we don't talk about discounts very often, right? Maybe when you're running a scholarship strategy, but that'd probably be about it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not interested in. It was the same thing in real estate. People they just start discounting their service down to, till they're the cheapest guy, and then they go out of business. So it just seems to hurt the industry. And so I have no interest in being the cheapest guy.
No, and then like what you and your girlfriend are offering is phenomenal. Well, how do I know? I competed. I'm a men's professional IPE pro, so I did men's natural bodybuilding and men's physique for years. And guess what happened after you diet for a long period of time? Your testosterone gets tanked, right? So I know what that's like. My wife competed. She had hormonal imbalances for over a year after she competed. So we went through Dutch testing. We went through different diet plans to like flush systems and stuff like that. There's a lot of money involved in that, especially if you get on with a company that will, pay you a kicker for referring them more individuals for that medication. You could possibly get a commission off that as well. That's what one of my coaching companies did that I worked for.
Yeah, we can even do. She's licensed to do BioT, or where they put the pellets under your skin. The natural testosterone kind of boost your testosterone that way. So that's been very, very helpful for people, but I don't know how much of that we want to. I don't know if we want to be operating on people.
100. I mean, you got some phenomenal ideas, right? These are I love them. What other questions you got for me before I kind of move forward for a little bit?
I think that's on what we've talked about. That's all. I think we're good so far.
Okay, stop me if you think of something else. Cool.
Yep.
All right. So let's see. So I can also identify the top 10 struggles you'll face as a fitness entrepreneur. We're providing solutions to each and every one of these. Okay. Now, administration systems and ChatGPT was something that I know that interested you. You've heard of ChatGPT, correct?
Yeah, we use it in real estate.
Yeah, it's like Google on steroids. We're going to show you how to maximize it for the health and fitness industry. So the ChatGPT is excellent for creating content ideas, SOPs, even workout programming. Now, backend systems, we use Wave or Stripe for payments, DocuSign for client agreements, Typeform and Calendly to book calls or apply for your services. We use Trainerize or TrueCoach, as you know, you use TrueCoach to load up all of your workouts, all of your programming, things of that nature. It makes it a lot more convenient for your clients. Same thing for your financial systems. Do you already have your LLC set up and all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, cool. I have it for real estate. I don't have it for fitness.
So you could still use your LLC and just do a DBA. So doing business as whatever. So that's going to save you a lot of time as well. So I'm assuming you got the.
I have a DBA already on an LLC. Can you do more than one DBA on a LLC?
I believe so. I'll have to double check. I don't know 100%, but I believe so. Me and my wife have an LLC. We use a DBA as well.
Well, I can actually use the LLC even because I use the DBA for something else. I can use the LLC for this actually. So I could probably just go right and, okay, yeah, so I'm already there.
Cool. I love it. From there, we're going to move into target setting. We're going to create your 3-year vision, your 1-year vision, your 3-month vision. We'll deep dive into your very specific goals. And then from there, we're going to figure out what problem you solve for individuals. Based upon that, we create our offer and pricing. So this is a huge one. A lot of trainers don't understand how much value they bring to the mindset. Okay. And then is it going to be a more do it for you, do it with you, or do it yourself program? The more that you do, the more that you offer, the higher the ticket offer, which will be established upon your length of term. So we'll help with the overall structure of your pricing. We'll teach you how to create high ticket offers as well. As far as organic marketing, we're going to show you how to do 1 hour's worth of work and get 14 different pieces of content created out of that utilizing AI software. And we're going to expand your reach and messages by helping you create podcasts and YouTube. We want more people to know who you are, what you're about. This would be phenomenal for you and your girls, especially if you're doing all those services. People will buy into this big time. From there, we're going to show you how to market for all things Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So it's more than just randomly posting, very specific strategies and resources that we implement. We do the same thing for Facebook as well. We even take it down to the hashtag use. We use data analytics to track which is kind of like the hot things and which ones aren't working. And we'll even show you how to maximize TikTok as well to get more engagement. From there, content creation made easy. You probably use Canva. Is that right? Have you used Canva before?
Sure.
So we'll teach you Canva Pro, Microsoft Designer, things of that nature, just really good editing features. We want your social media to be kind of a storefront. We want to attract people to come in there and see what you're all about. 10K lead generation framework, 3 different ways we do this. Earned media is the first way. So I want you to think of this as people coming specifically to you, messaging you. We're going to set up a WhatsApp group. We're going to show you how to set it up, why it's important, who we're going to target. Once we have that set up, we're going to give you specific strategies to get people in the door. Cross-pollination example of this, maybe you and another coach are partnered and their audience and viewers get to see who you are and vice versa. So that way you're expanding your overall reach, you're gaining more followers, you're getting more traction. Free resources, maybe you do like a free 1-week nutrition guideline. Could be something like that. People love free resources. It builds trust. My favorite one is a scholarship strategy. This will get a ton of people in the door, especially if you're talking about doing hormonal testing as well. Good Lord, that's going to blow up. Okay. And we also have call to actions as well. Opposite of this is what we call outbound marketing or conversation and calls. It's you reaching out to individuals first. So I kind of talked a little bit about expanding your local community first, which they won't talk to you about here, but I do. Think outside the box. Okay. Then we'll give you specific scripts. We'll give you conversation and call examples, but more importantly, we'll show you where to find all these leads on all 3 platforms, how to build and nurture these relationships. And now that we have that WhatsApp group set up, we can now have them speak to individuals that you're already servicing. So that way they have a better trust. They have an understanding of who you are and what you're about. And now we can have a more intimate one-on-one conversation with them and nurture that lead. Easiest way to grow your business, referrals, right? Friends, families, coworkers talking about how amazing you are. We're gonna show you different resources and strategies to get people to want to be incentivized to give you more referrals without actually having to ask. And then sales overview and fundamentals, this is going to probably be like your bread and butter right here, my man. If you've been in real estate, you got to be good at sales. So we'll show you how to maximize your sales capabilities. We're going to set up those 2 types of phone calls we discussed, the meet and greet. It's kind of like a screening call, trying to figure out if you really want to work with that individual, which will lead us into that closing call. This is where we're trying to lock down that lead. This is where we're doing a lot of objection handling. So we'll give you specific scripts. We'll give you our entire objection handling web. We'll teach you how to create downsells and discounts. Financing options will be huge to get people in, especially if you're wanting to do higher ticket offers. And then again, follow-up procedure on how to lock down that lead. Once we lock down that lead, we want to track all this. We want to track how many calls were booked, how many showed, how many closed, at what length of term. So we'll give you resources on how to track this more efficiently. And then from there, the objection handling module. So all the excuses someone's going to tell you as to why they can't start your program. We give you over 30 different examples you are going to hear over and over again. So the more you can familiarize yourself with this, the easier it is for the closing call. And then the onboarding process here is probably one of the biggest, most overlooked areas by most coaches and trainers. It's someone's first 30 days in your program. This will make or break if someone wants to continue with you. So all those things that we promised them up to the close call, we need to promise. So standards, expectations need to be created here. Check-in processes, right? Onboarding emails, packets, things of that nature. They need something in their hands within that first 24 to 48 hours while you're building out their program. This will build that trust. We want to keep them busy. From there, client delivery. This is the fun stuff, the week-to-week process and how we deliver services, but we teach you how to do it more efficiently utilizing ChatGPT and AI. And then no matter how good of a coach you are, this is inevitable. Someone's going to ghost you. Someone's going to quit. Someone's not going to pay attention, right? It's going to happen. So usually when they do this, it's because they want to be a part of a larger community. Some of them want more individualized one-on-one touch points. Some of them want challenges. And imagine this, some of them actually want to be incentivized to do what's already expected of them, like giving them gifts. Amazing how this world works, right? So we'll give you resources on how to get them to execute at a higher level. And then from there, we're going to move into customer support. How do we track refunds, cancellations, things of that nature? How can we mitigate it for the upcoming months? Now, if done correctly, this will lead to a ton of referrals. And then lastly, retention. We want to keep people for long periods of time, advance them to higher levels of our program, and we'll teach you how to track it. Okay. Quick recap, and we'll answer all your questions. Cool?
Yep.
It's going to be a 4-month program. You'll have your customized game planning call. You'll have that one-on-one coach the entire duration. You'll have one-on-one coaching calls every 2 weeks. You'll have that sales coach. You'll have the Facebook community and CEO trainings, 5 times a week group support calls, 24/5 tech support, done for you programming, an optional certification, and the business course curriculum. Anything you feel like we're missing?
No, I don't think so.
How are we feeling? You seen it now? Do we like it? Do we love it? Do we hate it?
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it. I think yeah. I mean, it's all good information for me. Some of it I know, but some of it I don't know how it relates to your business yet. But yeah, no, it all makes sense. It looks like it's good support. And you were saying the tutorials are basically self-paced, so just as quick as you want to work through it. And
correct. So let me give you some context on what this would look like. Okay. So let's just go to one where a lot of people might have struggles. So for instance, let's just go to administration systems. Okay, so we'll click on this. So if you click on this overview link, it's literally going to go word for word on exactly what to do. So I call this dummy proof. If you can read, great. If you can't read, there's a video for you. So I'll tell you step by step. Okay. So this literally covers the entire module verbatim, step by step. Now the videos will go into a little bit more in depth. There's usually some hidden gems in the videos, but overall, once you click on this will save to your Google Docs automatically. So you'll have that. And then let's just say you were wanting to set up, let's say, Wave for payments. Okay. So you click on this.
I'm sorry, would you call waiver payments?
I said, so say for instance, if you were going to select Wave to collect payments, you'll have a couple different options. But if you want to know how to do Wave, this is their tutorial.
Oh, Wave. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah.
So he's literally going step by step on what you're going to see. He's walking you through it.
I got you. Yeah.
So as long as you can follow instruct, I tell people this is kind of like a college course, but your professor says, hey, it's open book. It's highlighted in yellow and circled in red. Find the answer.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
It's that simple. Like I'm saying, it's that simple. So that's what those would look like. Okay. Any other questions on that so far?
No.
Cool. I'm going to show you a couple testimonials because I know you have some big ambitions. So I'm going to show you the people that are killing it. Zach started in June 2021. He's been a 7-figure earner for over a year now. So he was an in-person trainer at the time. He 15 times the income with us. Now he's got a whole team underneath him. He's kind of moved away from the coaching aspect, more of that CEO. The other girl I was telling you about, this is Jen, and this is her husband, Darren. She started her business prior to us back in 2015, but she couldn't quite get over that hump. Then she got with us in 2021, and now she's able to contract 100K months on a regular basis. And she has a staff size of 12, so she's killing it. So she's a wife, pro athlete, and now and she's got a thriving business. As far as averages go, I'm just going to show the ones that I think that will be really pertinent to you. People that hit 10K a month on average takes them 13 weeks. You don't come across to me as an average guy, so I have high expectations you'd be able to do this in less than that. But for the average individual, just doing this over 90 days, that's a life-changing event for a majority of individuals, right?
Yeah.
And I mentioned this one earlier. The students who stay with us 12 months have 97 clients on their roster on average. Again, that's 366,000 per year for the basic individual. Okay. So as we get on going and moving forward, we grade the program a 4.6 out of 5. And then when we get into mastery level, shit just starts blowing up. Like you can read some of those average, it gets ridiculous. Okay.
Wow.
And that's where we just gotta fine tune everything first. So you probably do got some great systems in place, but there's always ways to improve those things and update them.
Yeah.
Cool. Any questions so far?
No, I was just when people are, once they're starting hiring staffs, I mean, I see what the revenue numbers are, but what do the profits start to look like? I'm guessing they're decent, but are the people that they're hiring employees, are they 1099s that they're paying them like a piece of each deal?
Yeah, so you can go through. So I'm gonna be totally transparent. When I hired my DMer, I didn't want to join. I didn't want to go to an agency and charge more for that. I'm cheap, so I hired a high school kid. I wrote out a script. I had him sit with me for 2 weeks straight. Paid him $9 an hour.
Okay.
That's what I did. Now, again, thinking outside the box, right? Now, I got to the point for me and my family. I didn't, like you mentioned earlier, when you're hitting 50K a month, you're taking on a whole nother level of responsibilities, right? Like there's problems that come with that. More money, more problems, right?
Oh yeah.
So for me and my wife, I was an in-person trainer, master level in-person trainer for over 15 years. So I was making great money out here in Omaha, Midwest. I was charging $150 per hour per session out for in-person training. So I was making great money, but I didn't have my time. So her goal was, hey, we got 5 kids. Your ass needs to be home helping out. And she's a professional, a nurse professional as well. So we're able to now travel. Our goal was to hit 15 to 20K on a regular basis. We really didn't want more than that because I also do this full time. And then she also has her full time. If we have 3 streams of income coming in, we just want to travel more and spend time with the kiddos. So for a lot of individuals that want that, illustrious 100K months, it's a lot of fucking work, right? It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So that's why she's got 12. So initially you're micromanaging. And yes, we give you different agency outsourcing options. We have different options that you can use for content creation. So based upon like the amount you're bringing in, we can always implement that because you are going to get a shit ton of return on investment back when you run an ad, right? Like if you're bringing that type of money and if you can offset some of these things. So the point is eventually we want to teach you how to do this stuff on your own. So when you do hire out, you can understand like the worth of what you're paying them, right? Versus if you just hire out immediately, you're basically enslaved to a company because you don't understand the principles behind it. We've had individuals that came from other companies that did literally everything for them. That company goes down. Now, all of a sudden, they were going 15 to 20K to nothing because they don't know how to do anything on their own. So the goal is to make sure you understand how to run things as a business owner and then hire out.
Right. And you said the program is 4 months?
Yes.
And then what happens after the 4 months?
So hopefully, if a guy like you and your girl are out here killing it, the goal is for you guys to ascend to mastery level at 4 months or even slightly before. So if you're like around that 8 to 10K threshold on a regular basis, and you're like, Jeremy, I want more, I'm ready to go, I want more, we'll ascend you to mastery level coach. And that's where it goes to a whole nother level. That's where we're creating ads. That's where we're bringing on more people to hire out. We're showing you who to hire, when to hire, things of that nature.
Just curious why, I think maybe I know the answer, but when I was watching one of the videos or something and they were saying you don't start with ads,
right? Running
ads, because I think the reason was they were saying you want a chance to run your sales pitch a bunch of times before you're doing it on paid traffic, basically.
Well, so essentially, a lot of companies will tell you to run ads, but the thing is, if you don't have the money to support that, you're just wasting money. And if the ads come in, you don't know how to handle them because you don't have your sales systems down, you don't have your backend systems down, so it becomes a clusterfuck. And those people on those calls can sense it, and they're like, "This guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Why would I sign up with him?" Right? And you're just getting a traffic of ads, but you don't know how to deal with it. So we want to make sure that you're battle tested. So by the time you have that return on investment coming in, we have actual money coming in. We've now streamlined our processes. Everything is smooth. We get people onboarded a lot faster. Now they're like, okay, this was a good decision that I went with this individual.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. I probably have a million questions on terms of programs of what to offer and all that sort of thing, but that sounds like that's for down the road.
Yeah, we will go over deep into like what you offer. Even in mastery level, we even start adding on to like the different things that you can offer and how we can even like make it even just even more of a higher ticket, how we can actually make this even a more unique angle. You guys already have a very unique angle, which I love that as well. Now, quick question. Did you want to set up maybe a second call? Because I want to go into investment, but I've got a call here in about 5 minutes and I don't want to cheat you on that.
Yeah. Why don't we do another call? And then I'll have my girlfriend join us on the next call because I know she's gonna have a zillion questions for me about what we talked about. But Yeah.
What do you guys got available tomorrow?
Let me see. What time zone are you in?
I'm Central Standard.
So you're like, I'm at Eastern, so you're probably like 1 hour or 2 hours behind.
No, I'm just one behind you.
One. Okay. Let's see. Tomorrow's Wednesday.
Oh, tomorrow. What do you got for Thursday? I'm sorry. Geez, Wednesday is packed. I'm jammed.
Yeah, my Wednesday's packed too. Yeah, I'm good on Thursday, but probably later in the day for her because she usually works until 4, so maybe like 4:30.
Okay. I could do, how about, it'd be 5 p.m. my time, 6 p.m. your time. Does that work?
That should be fine.
Cool. I'm gonna put you guys in there, and then we'll go over, we'll kind of deep dive into any other questions you have, and then we'll kind of go over our different options as far as payments.
Okay, I looked it up online, so I have an idea of what you charge. So, you know, I'm guessing it's the $7,500.
No, it's actually less than that. It's 7,300, and then there's a paid in full of 6,500, saves you $800. But we can go over different options that will work out better for you, where I can save you some money.
Gotcha. I'm an easy sale. My girlfriend's not.
That's all good.
She's more of a. So we're not playing good cop, bad cop. She's just more. She's way too smart. That's why she asks so many questions. So.
No, we love it, man. And I like the fact that we're game playing this so we all are on the phone call together, because that is important for the other person to be heard and their questions to be verified. So I like that game plan a lot.
Okay. And then you don't a forward-facing website.
I'm sorry.
Like having a traditional website or landing page, because I see everybody has this software, like this kind of behind the scenes, how to create your plans and interact with your customers, but having a customer facing actual website.
Yeah, we go over that as well, but we really start first utilizing all 3 platforms first to build that like knowledge of who you are. Once we're generating enough type of individuals, that's when we start creating like a website. But if you're also, again, if you're really well known locally, we can do that a little bit sooner, right? Because me personally, I like to focus on my bread and butter. My bread and butter is I'm really well known out here. So that's my focal point. I'd rather serve those individuals because I know I'm going to keep them for longer. Like right now, my average retention rate's like over 1.5 years. People don't go anywhere. And it's not because I'm the best thing since sliced bread, but after a year, they don't view me as a coach. They view me as a trusted friend. It's hard to say no to a friend, especially when you're giving them like consistent results over and over.
Right. Okay. Sounds good. You going to send me an invite for Thursday?
Yeah, it'll be I can send you the same link. It's going to be the exact same link.
Okay.
Does that work for you?
That works for me.
In the meantime, I will send you over advanced marketing free resource. So you guys can start looking that over. I know that you're into the advanced stuff, so I'll send you over that just to look over. We can talk about it on Thursday. Cool?
All right. Sounds great.
All right. Appreciate your time, buddy.
All right. Take care, Jeremy.
Later.
All right. Bye.